historically, but
you can get a fish for him? Sound like Hey?
Leave me alone.
He's sick.
It's only early.
Sick? Well, get off if you're sick.
No,
Our guest today is John Gray, the expatriate Pom from...
The Last Survivor.
The Last Survivor, yes, that's right. And John is unable to play today for North Sydney as a late test this morning has put you out. What is ankle trouble?
Yes, twisted ankle in training, Rex. And
it's going down the scrums all the time.
Collapsing the scrums, is it? Well, Johnny, last week's match against Eastern Suburbs was a very good one for North Sydney in the sense that they very nearly won it. But it's not good enough these days. You can't go on with this image of being nearly good enough to win.
No, it was our own faults last week, Rex. We had ample opportunity to win the game, especially in the first half. We tore them to shreds, really, in the first 10 minutes. And we had plenty of chance to go on with it in the next 10 minutes and pick up enough points to have sewed the game up. But with a bit lack of possession in the second half, plus East, revival and fight back, in the end perhaps we just weren't quite good enough. But, considering they had, I know, 8 players playing in this...
7
players who had been playing with the country game, I can assure you it still wasn't an easy game.
No, I can imagine it wasn't, but really that is the one that takes the guilt off the gingerbread as far as your good performance was concerned, the fact that so many of their players were backing up. I mean, you should theoretically, most of the experts think, should have won that game.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I think we should have won it, and we should have won it within the first 20 minutes. It's our own faults for not having done so.
Yeah.
Well, you're 12-0 after 12 minutes, and I think it should have been at least 20 points to nil at that stage because you had the scoring opportunities. And let's face it, whilst East may have had 7 men playing there, the first half of football from North Sydney was brilliant.
Well, it was. We had all the ball, you see,
Looks
Ferris.
terrific, this stuff.
And we did use the ball well, except, certain instances, especially near their line, when we lost the ball, when in critical situations when we shouldn't have done. And, East had all the ball second half, and it was just like a complete reverse situation. Ooh. Plus this big fella, he made a lot of damage.
He really caused some trouble in there.
Well, that was the one that got away because that was a try that was disallowed, and it deserved to be a try, really, didn't it?
John.
Ferris, sorry, Cole, let me just ask Ferris, because he was the man at the ground. What was the single reason North didn't win? Can you pinpoint it to that? I mean, I thought they were going to win this game. Well,
I think that they failed to capitalise on 2 scoring chances in the first half, which wouldn't put the issue beyond doubt. They turned at 17-8, and they really, I think they should have been possibly 22 or perhaps 25-8 because they were playing that well. They completely stunned Eastern Suburbs with the brilliance of their attack in the first half. East was sort of working themselves into position, but North went too fast. The difference, North in the first half played as good as football as I've seen this year, but under East in the turnaround in the second half, they started to get the ball. They kept play up into the North's half for most of the match, the second half, and they got the chances and they took every one.
What about you, Cole? You had something to say?
Yes, I was going to ask, why in one half you win the ball and the next half you can't, John? Was there any explanation of last week?
He had a sore hand.
Sore hand. And a sore foot. Well, I think an elastic foot to have won it second half, because what tends to happen these days is whoever puts the ball in wins the ball. And we were kicking downfield a lot in the second half to get out of trouble, and then we were stopping their half, and then they were getting the feed.
That try of Faye there, that was a very bad lapse by North Sydney because he went through actually 3 players. But I was very impressed. I think also North were prejudiced by Mark Graham going off early in the first half. He has a great work rate. He seems to steady the North Sydney players down, and it was a big loss. But I was very impressed with the performance of Fred Arcoy. I thought his tackling was dynamic on certain occasions, and he looks like he's a very useful player for North Sydney.
Yes, I think Fred settled down very well. He had a very hard start when he came here. He came from sub-zero temperatures and found the changeover a great difficulty, Rex. But, within 3 weeks he's adjusted.
Doing well.
I think he's going to be a very good player.
Might I just direct something to my director upstairs? Arthur, would you be kind enough to just re-cue that last tape about 30 seconds? I just want to look at a tackle I can't believe. Your fullback last week.
What's his Parsons?
Yeah, he attempts to tackle a player. Now, can we show it now? I'll see if I can pick up the bit I want. He made no attempt to use his arms in the tackle. All he did was launch his body at the fella's legs, which is just not on. Here, I think, this time, look. You know, that wasn't even an attempted tackle. It was he was just going to sort of throw his body at the player.
Yes, well, I can't say
obviously
for
you
other
can't,
people,
but
Rex, but, you know, poor old Peter's come in at a bad time when we've had the two fullbacks above him both injured, John O'Connor with the bad arm and Peter McIntyre, who had cruciate ligament operation, and, you know, he's doing well.
Well, he might be doing well. I suggest he has a look at that one, and if I'm being overcritical, you should maybe give me a ring and tell me. But unless you're 15 or 16 stone, you don't attempt to just knock people out of the way. You go in and do an accepted tackle the same as you were taught in J grade and then D grade and E grade and all the other grades you played before. There was a funny little incident, Ferris, when John Adams, he drops to the ground to get out of the way of the play. Did you see that? Which I thought was pretty...
No way he's going to stop.
He wasn't going to get involved in the play and interrupt anything.
Incidentally, it was run right over the top.
It was good thinking, yeah. Oh, nobody slaps this lad. And of course, little tiny McKinnon likes to run and charge at people. And Warnocky found out.
Oh, McKinnon. Oh,
Baby Huey, we call him.
Baby Huey, do you?
Baby
He's
Huey.
a tiny wee lad, isn't he?
McCaffrey had a very good game too. A couple of tries.
Yes, he's picked up a lot, as Paul, you know, with the experience this year. And, you know, he's very quick.
You were leading 12-0, John. You came under criticism for not taking a penalty kick at goal, which could have made it 14. Was there a reason for that?
I can't remember that. I took the ones I thought I could get.
Yeah.
I don't know how far out that was.
Yeah.
Cole, was it a long way out, or perhaps was it a differential one?
I wasn't there. There was criticism of you. They said that you should have taken the kick. It was 12-0. You must have thought you were home and dry. Or keep the pressure on.
I can assure you I'd have taken the kick anywhere if I could have got it over. Because this was the tactics beforehand. I took the one that I got, which was sort of very flat, low trajectory kick.
Yeah.
I didn't really think I'd get the distance there, but...
4 out of 4 is not a bad record.
Yeah.
I'll try and keep it up.